Hello. Happy Friday, guys. We are back for another video. I see my mod in the building. Thanks for being here, Linda Gamble. Thanks for being here. And everyone else is getting ready to come on in. I know they're about to rush in here in a second. Hello and hello to everyone coming in. It is Friday, guys. Let me put my banner up, child. Look at me. I definitely got to put it up tonight, child, with what we're going to be talking about. I'm going to have to put my trigger warning one up, too. Ooh, child. I'm going to have to put the trigger warning one up, too, honey. We'll add that one here in a second. Ooh, child. How y'all doing? Happy Friday. I hope you guys are all doing good. Hope y'all had a great Friday. I'm having a great one because I'm off work. I am off work. I'm going to go on and knock this video out so I can enjoy the rest of my Friday. Yes, and I hope you guys do the same. If you guys are going out tonight, definitely be careful and don't be getting no DUIs and all that, okay? We're coming up on a 3-day weekend. Praise the Lord, okay? Monday is a holiday, honey, so I will be happy for that, all right? Yes, God, let's get into our show, honey. I know everybody else is going to be coming on in. Thanks for being here, Erica Butler. I see you. Everything said in the video is alleged and, in my opinion, and is used for fair use and entertainment. Damn, everything said in the video is used for fair use and entertainment. Okay, it says, Carrie, are you on a roll today? Yes, girl, I'm on a roll. Y'all know I had a child. Listen, this is my third time live today. Okay, we did Car Chronicles, and I had a pop in today, and now we on our official pop in. So yes, baby, we are back. We are back. We got a good show lined up for you guys tonight. A lot of information, a lot of we're gonna have to put our trigger warning banner up tonight because some of the stuff that we're going to be talking about is kind of going to be a little triggering. But it's gonna be a great show, I promise. So you guys definitely come in, honey, put your seatbelts on. Let's get through it. Okay. If it's starting to be too much for someone, maybe click off and then maybe come back in just a little bit. Okay. But we got some stuff to talk about. I pulled this topic because of course it dropped today and I wanted to talk about it. And I pulled some other videos and other posts as well to corroborate the topic that we're going to be talking about tonight. All right. So let's get started, honey. Let's get started. All right, hold on. All right, so let's get him out the way first. Because, yeah, this is news. Then we're going to jump right into the other stuff. All right, let's get into him. Shout out to the Shade Room. Charleston White, honey. Charleston White is in some trouble. Y'all know he's very controversial. He's very, very, very much so into some mess all the damn time. If you don't know who this person is, child, Google him. Trouble always finds him and he finds the trouble. Okay. Yeah. Charleston White. Why are my allergies acting up? As you guys can see on my screen, he is arrested, guys. He was arrested yesterday, on aggravated assault and animal cruelty charges. Okay. As you guys can see, he's sitting here looking crazy. I don't know. They should have put him in the nut house, to be honest with you. Now they're saying that according to Tarrant County records that Charleston White was arrested on Thursday and charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and animal cruelty charges. He is currently in custody at the Lon Evans Correction Center, and we'll keep you guys updated about the details of his arrest to be available. That's what it's saying here. But he was arrested on animal cruelty and all that other stuff. All right, so as you guys can see, according to the Tarrant County active booking records, it says the charges is cruelty, non-livestock animal to unalive, poison, what is it, SBI. The authority, of course, is Tarrant County Sheriff, and the arrest date is 10/10. Aggravated assault with a deadly weapon is Brewster County Alpine, and that was also on the 10th. So he's in a little bit of trouble, looks like. Okay, y'all know Chinese folk don't be putting up with you doing stuff to animals out here. All right, why would you be poisoning with a P an animal? Like, if you don't want the damn animal, give it away, take it to a shelter. Okay, release that animal, let them go. Animals can find their own food, but if you don't want them, don't be abusing them and holding them at their will and then giving them things that will unalive them. That's just not cool. Okay, that goes for anyone. If you got animals and you don't want them, shit, take them to a shelter, give them to somebody else. There's people all over the place that want animals, dogs, cats, whatever. But to do that I don't agree with it. Okay, so that's it for that one. Okay, so Charleston White, honey, is in the jail where his ass needs to be. Okay, yes, he is. Ken, child, Ken from Love Marriage Huntsville is out here, child. I don't know what he think he doing. I saw this today. I said I'll share it right before we get into the real meat and potatoes of our show. Child, Ken is out here canning, honey. Let me take this thing off. Then I'm gonna have to put it back on. Let's let it catch up. Ken from Love Marriage Huntsville, child. He said, if you not this turn this weekend, then stay away from me. I guess I'm staying away, child. This is Ken. All right, so now y'all hear the song. All right. This is Ken, child. He's doing I like the way you do it right there, that chingy. So the song kind of switched up and now he's in here dancing, child. Ken, sit your ass down somewhere. Ken, sit down, sir. Ken, can you sit down, Ken? Ken, sit down, Ken. Okay. Anywho, moving on, child. Ken is a little crunk today. He wants y'all to see he was crunk. All right. Mm-hmm. All right, so let's get on into the show, honey. All right. Let's get into the show. Okay, let's move this one over. All right. So we're gonna get into this one first. Sit down, Ken, child. We ain't thinking about no damn Ken. Thank y'all for being in the building. Thank y'all for being in the building. All right, shout out Hollywood Unlocked. Let's get into this. For those of you who know, we've been kind of keeping tabs on this upcoming documentary where R. Kelly's children were coming forward to speak on R. Kelly and how they grew up with him, and they're saying that they were abused by him. So we're going to get into this because I pulled some stuff as well. We're going to talk about where this whole abuse thing originated from. We're going to talk about his sister. I pulled some stuff about that. So we're going to get into it. This is getting ready to be one of those nights, honey, where we get ready to expose, and we're going to talk about some stuff. I'm going to play an interview for you guys where y'all going to be like, oh, what? Yes, girl. Okay, so of course, I will put up my trigger warning banner. Let's go ahead and put that up now because this may be a little triggering as well. Okay, it's gonna be a little triggering as well. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, trigger warning. All right, let's get into it, honey. Let's get into it. All right, so this is R. Kelly's daughter, Buku Abi, aka Joanne, on the alleged abuse that she suffered during her childhood at the hands of her father, the one and only R. Kelly. Okay, she is speaking. She's speaking about it. She's emotional about it. Yeah, she's carried this for a long time because this happened to her when she was very, very young. So let's get into it.
For a long time, I didn't even want to believe that it happened. I didn't know that even if he was a bad person, that he would do something to me. I really feel like that 1 millisecond completely just changed my whole life. If my son asks questions, I'm going to be as truthful as possible. But I will not be taking my son to a prison to meet his grandfather.
Okay. Yeah, so TVE, hold on. Okay. Yeah. All right, so as you guys can see, that will be on TVE. I don't know if I have TVE. I need to see. If not, I do have a Fire Stick, so I can still get to see it. I'm going to watch it in its entirety. I've been watching clips because it's all over the internet now that this has happened. Okay, let's go to the next clip here. Oh, hold on. Why isn't it letting me click? Oh, okay. Yeah, so that is her. That is her. Okay, that is his daughter. She says that she was abused as a child. So we're going to get into All right, I'll read this right quick. Okay. Now, R. Kelly's legal team is swiftly responding to the new claims made by his daughter, Buku Abi. That's what she goes by. That's her stage name because she is a musical artist. It's previously reported the 26-year-old appears in a new documentary titled Karma, a Daughter's Journey, where she discusses her experiences, revealing that she was allegedly sexually abused by the R&B singer, which is her father, R. Kelly. Now, through tears, she shares how that moment impacted her life forever. Okay. Now, in light of these distressing accusations, R. Kelly's attorney is firmly denying that any abuse occurred. In a statement to TMZ, shout out to them, Kelly's attorney, Jennifer Bone-Jean, says that R. Kelly's vehemently denying these allegations. It says that his ex-wife made the same allegation years ago, and it was investigated by the Illinois Department of Children and Family Services, and it was unfounded. And the filmmakers, whoever they are, did not reach out to Mr. Kelly or his team to even allow him to deny these hurtful allegations. Well, if she went through this, if she's saying, I hope she's not out telling a lie about it. She's very emotional about it. I hope this is not a money grab, but then again, you just never know sometimes. And I'm not saying that her story is not true, but R. Kelly, given your track record and the things that we found out in the actual case against you, sir, I'm willing to believe what's being said that she's saying it was done to her. Okay. And you have a few other family members that you violated as well. And we're going to get into that. All right. So I'm leaning towards the daughter. All right. I'm believing her right now. All right. All right. So let's stop sharing. Get into the next topic. Let's stop sharing. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah. So let's share. Shout out to TMZ. Shout out to TMZ. Y'all have TVE. I might have it. I got so many damn channels. I don't know. I might have it down there. I don't know, child. So R. Kelly's daughter. All right. So shout out to TMZ. We're going to continue to read. R. Kelly's daughter just made bombshell accusations in the latest expose about the disgraced Grammy Award winner, claiming that the bump and grind singer sexually abused her as a child. All right. Now it says that while speaking to TVE Network, new part 2 documentary Karma, A Daughter's Journey, Kelly's daughter, B, now 26, says that says the abuse occurred when she was 8 or 9 years old, claiming that she woke up to the singer touching her and she pretended to be asleep. Wow. Says that she initially reported the abuse to her mother, Kelly's ex-wife Andrea, in 2009, and they filed a complaint as Jane Doe, but the statute of limitations had run out. Why'd you wait that long? Is my question. I keep saying Andrea Kelly is not innocent. For a long time, this is what the daughter is saying. For a long time, I didn't want to believe that it happened. I didn't know that even if he was a bad person, that he would do something to me. Says I'll be identified as Joanne Kelly. Joanne Kelly is R. Kelly's mother, who she was named after. Okay. Joanne Kelly is the name that R. Kelly and Andrea gave her because they're named after R. Kelly's mother. All right. Who also was not so innocent as well. In this documentary, claims in the documentary. Okay. It says that before later divulging fear, all right, in her own household. It says that I was too scared to tell anybody. I was too scared to even tell my mom, because y'all know R. Kelly was very powerful. I mean, shit, he could make things go away. Okay, he was very abusive as well. If you guys go back and look at documentaries, go look at the surviving R. Kelly. These women talked about how they were locked in rooms, how they were hit, and all types of things. So he was violent, just like Diddy was. Okay, yeah. So Andrea also appeared, in the documentary and blast R. Kelly for not even trying in their marriage. Girl, bye. And backs up Abu's claims of abuse. It says that Abi rather, details that just 1 millisecond changed her entire life and vows to tell her son the truth about his grandfather, but will never bring him to meet R. Kelly at the prison as he serves his 20-year sentence. I wouldn't either, child. It says that Kelly's attorney, Jennifer Bone-Jean, tells of course, TMZ, that R. Kelly denies the allegations. Of course, she's been representing him since the beginning, and she's cuckoo as well. Okay, but let's get into the next topic. This is going to be an R. Kelly type of night because I pulled some things so that you guys can get a clearer understanding. All right. Of course, you guys know R. Kelly Um, R. Kelly's sister is who violated him, okay? R. Kelly's sister is who violated him. Her name is Theresa Kelly. We're going to look at an interview here in a minute. But first, let's get into who Theresa Kelly is, all right? Let's get into who she is. It's a build-up, guys. It's a build-up. Follow me, all right? It is a build-up. Let's get into who Theresa Kelly is. Theresa Kelly is R. Kelly's sister who not only abused R. Kelly, but she also abused their brother, Carrie Kelly, as well. All right. They also had another brother named Bruce, who was their older brother. He was not, from our understanding and from what they know, he was not abused because he was, he was a little bit older and he could have fought her off, they're saying. But R. Kelly and his other brother, Carey Kelly, were not so fortunate to be able to do that. Now, this is how Theresa Kelly looked back then. And this is R. Kelly actually with his arm around her and their fingers are intertwined like you would do with your man. Okay, weird. So it said that Theresa Kelly, R. Kelly's sister, is working as a stylist now. Okay, she's also like this religious type individual to where she's all into the God stuff now. But weird thing is R. Kelly still has a relationship with her. He takes care of her like on a financial level. And she also went to his trial. She was at his trial as well to be in support of him while he was going through these allegations. All right. But she does not have a relationship with R. Kelly's other brother, Carey Kelly, because of her abuse towards him. Now, he talks about in the interview that we're going to see later on, he had not talked to her since 1993, but something happened to his son, and she actually called up to the hospital to, and that was the first time he had heard from her since 1993, okay? And she still denies that she did this to them, even though he says he remembers the shit like it happened yesterday. So let's get into who Theresa Kelly is, all right? That is her again. All right, now they're saying that although allegations deeming R&B music Robert Kelly a sexual predator first came to light around the mid-1990s, the sad truth is that he was not arrested for good until the summer of 2019. However, as explored in Lifetime Surviving R. Kelly, the worst aspect of the matter is actually the fact that he had an extensive network either directly enabling his actions or indirectly supporting him. Now, amongst them is seemingly always been his sister, Theresa Kelly. So now, if you wish to learn more about her, her bond with the artist, and her current standing, we've got the details for you. Let's get into it. Who is Theresa Kelly? All right. This is how she looks now. This is how she looks now. That's Theresa Kelly. All right. R. Kelly's sister, the one who abused him. All right. She did some very heinous things. Now, born on January the 2nd, 1962, into a single mother household of Joanne Kelly, which is their mother, Theresa reportedly grew up in the Ida B. Wells public housing projects on the infamous south side of Chicago, Illinois. All right. Her early years were thus not entirely comfortable or happy, especially since she had to not just share the small space with her 5 siblings, half siblings, but also often babysat her younger ones, which she violated. Okay. It actually appears as if she's the eldest of the brood, which is why she once went by Lady T, followed by, in no particular order, Bruce Kelly, which is their oldest brother, Cassandra Kelly, Robert Kelly, Lisa Kelly, and Carrie Kelly. Okay. We're going to hear from Kelly Carey in a minute. Now, yet if we're being honest, they say that it's the fact that Theresa has been actually accused of sexually abusing both Robert Kelly and Carrie Kelly while they were mere kids by the latter himself that has propelled her into the limelight. Now, according to the youngest Kelly brother, in a candid interview with Unwind with Tasha K, which we're going to look at here in a second, it stated when she was entrusted with babysitting duties as a teenager while their mother was at work. Carrie claims that Theresa's strategy was to let Bruce out of the house to play before taking advantage of either him or Robert, and that they never actually witnessed each other's alleged molestation with an M. All right, we got to be choicy with our words. He then went on to describe most of what she intensively did to him, and insisted that that she first assaulted him when he was 7 and she was 16, whereas for Robert it was when he was 6 and she was 13. So Robert R. Kelly was violated by his sister at the tender age of 6 years old. His brother, Carrie Kelly, was abused at 7 years old when the sister was 16. Now, it says that it's also imperative to note that the R&B singer's lawyers have actually detailed this apparent years-long sexual assault by Theresa in a court document as part of his childhood trauma to reason his hyper sexual behavior. Nevertheless, she has always denied such allegations, of course, and it even seems like she and Robert have managed to remain on positive, amicable terms over the years, as I just told you guys. Now, where is Theresa Kelly now? All right. She's hiding out, of course. All right. Now, from what we can tell through a complete lack of Theresa's active presence on any social media platform, she deliberately prefers to keep her distance from the public eye these days. However, we do know that the Chicago native has since moved about an hour away to the wondrous city of Aurora, Illinois, where she reportedly serves as a stylist and family woman with kids of her own. Moreover, as per Kelly's account, Theresa is now a woman of God who actually used to attend several R. Kelly's concerts with her pastor and congregation in tow. She never cut ties with him, as if it isn't enough, roughly a month after the singer's 30-year-old penalty was handed down in 2022, she defended him in an interview with Good Morning Britain alongside sisters Cassandra and Lisa. It says that the 61-year-old herself didn't say much, yet her sheer presence made it clear that she agreed with everything her siblings were stating, whether it be regarding their brother being innocent and his lengthy sentence being rooted in racism and the survivors essentially being bitter liars. So she sat in an interview and tried to say that the women that came forward against R. Kelly were merely lying on him. Let's show her picture again. This is how she looks. She is a hairstylist and she's a woman of God now. You did all this shit to your siblings and screwed them up. Now you are here all about the God. And that's fine. That's good that a person found God, but you still not taking responsibility for what you've done and your ass need to be locked the fuck up. I'm sorry. You just do. All right. Let's continue. Yes, honey, we're getting ready to open up a can of worms tonight. All right. For those of you that are triggered, please click out and come back. All right. We got to get this out. Everybody okay in chat? Says she probably touching them too. She probably is touching her own kids because people don't just stop at their siblings. If they have that spirit in them, honey, they're going to carry it right on over to their own children. Now, Theresa's daughter, I told you guys, Theresa's daughter went to go live with her brother, Carrie Kelly. And I told you guys about how she was walking around the house half dressed. He had to tell her to put clothes on. And whenever he would bring his girlfriend over, she would get jealous like she was his girlfriend. And then she would try to rub up on him like she was his woman. And he finally had to put her out because he said, listen, I'm your uncle. You don't approach me like that and don't ever do it. He had to check her and let her know, don't act like that with me. So not only is her mother like that, but her daughter, who was a teenager at the time, also has those pedophilia ways. This is like a family curse, it looks like, with them. Did y'all know that? I think I talked to y'all about it before. All right. So let's get into this next topic. R. Kelly is being accused of sexually abusing and possibly impregnating his 14-year-old cousin. I told y'all this, didn't I? I had to pull it up so you guys can see, honey. I said that you give people chances to change before you put them or put their business out there, okay? So he's being blasted. Now, a little over a month has passed since Carrie Kelly, the brother of shamed R&B singer R. Kelly, released a lyrical expose on the Pied Piper by way of gritty track, I Confess. It says that in the record, Kelly posed jaw-dropping allegations against his brother, accusing him of knowingly passing STDs to women and secretly sleeping with men. Child. Now, in the new interview, the rapper is cracking open more scandalous family secrets in an interview with YouTuber Tasha K. It says that Killer Kelly, which is what he goes by, which is Carrie Kelly, not only explained why he was releasing so much personal information on his brother, but why the information was so important for the public to know. Especially Kelly revealed after his wishes for one of Kelly's previous undisclosed victims to come forward on her story of sexual abuse from the Chicago singer, which was their own cousin. All right, so let's see. We know about that. Okay, we know about that. right, so let's go back up. I'm sorry, y'all. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to get to the point where it's talking about the cousin. We know about that. Especially my daughters. Joanne Kelly. All right, so of course they're saying here he impregnated his own cousin. I wanted to find a whole video where the cousin too was also speaking, because she spoke out about him doing that, and he actually did that on his tour bus. He slept with his niece on his tour bus, you guys, and he was very aggressive with her as well. And he also paid her money not to talk about it. Okay, let's get on with this interview, because I really was hoping that this post would give me what I was looking for, but obviously it did not. So we're gonna move on. All right, so let's get into this interview. All right, this is not going to be a very, very long live, but I do want to get into all the things of this interview about R. Kelly and the things and where it came from. I want you guys to see where it came from. All right, shout out to, let's get into it, Siobhan Renee. All right, shout out to Siobhan Renee, because we're going to look at this clip where she kind of clipped it down for us. Okay, let's get into it. And shout out to Tasha K, because she interviewed Carrie Kelly. Carrie Kelly is R. Kelly's brother, who was also violated by their sister, Theresa Kelly. Carrie Kelly is also a greater singer as R. Kelly. R. Kelly just happened to be the one to make it. He used to sing background for R. Kelly as well during the time that the tape came out with the little teenager with R. Kelly, the SEX tape with the little teenager. R. Kelly asked his brother Carrie Kelly to take the rap for him and to say it was him in the video, because as you guys can see, he and his brother they do look very similar. So R. Kelly was going to ask his brother to take the rap for him, and he was going to pay him, I think it was like $300,000, and he said no. He said no because, one, he did not want to be locked up away from his kids, because you guys know that was going to carry a very long sentence. He said no. So since he refused to take the rap for R. Kelly fired him from working with him on his team, took him off of his tour, and also blackballed him from the industry, which I think is very, very crazy. But then he turns around and he supports the very sister who violated him. Ain't that crazy? Let's get into this interview. Shout out to Tasha K. All right, because she asked some very good questions, and he was very transparent. Okay, y'all know most men, especially straight men, do not come out and talk about being violated, because they're very guarded when it comes to their sexuality, and that's embarrassing. Most men, and when I see a man come out, especially when they become emotional and they're telling their story, I gotta believe them. I've read so many things about this, and I've seen so many interviews about this. I believe him. I believe that this happened to him, and I believe that this sister did this. And I feel like she moved away from where they lived and moved like to another city because she wanted to get a new start. People knew her. People knew about the story. That's all they were talking about when they saw her. People were asking her, why did you do this to your brother? Why? She don't want to have to answer questions. And to this day, she still have not taken accountability for what she's done to her siblings and effed them up like that. She's the reason why R. Kelly is spending 20 years in prison, in my opinion. But let's get into this interview. All right.
You guys were both, your brother R. Kelly and you, Carrie Kelly, were molested by your own sister.
Yes.
Theresa.
Yes.
Okay. Can you, we got a lot to unwind here, because I want to understand, like, how old were you when this first happened?
I was around 6 years old.
6 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how old was your sister at the time?
Well, she's 9 years older than me. She had to be about maybe 15.
15 years old. Yes. Oh, how many siblings do you guys have total between all of you?
It's 4 of us.
It's 4. So
yes.
it's 3 boys and 1 girl.
Yes.
Okay. And so,
all right, let me pause. Now, most of you guys that may not know this is get ready to blow your mind. All right. I've done a whole lot. I read his book, Solar Coaster. So I know a lot of stuff about this family and stuff that's been going on for years about them. Now, R. Kelly never met his father growing up. And the reason for that is his father is said to be his grandfather. Did y'all know that? I'm going to say it again. R. Kelly has never met his father. He never knew who his father was. His mother never told him who his father was. And the reason for that is his father is his grandfather. Y'all get that? His grandfather is his father. And they didn't find out all of this information about this said father until he became almost an adult. He was like a teenager, almost an adult, until he found out that his father was actually his grandfather. Did y'all know that? It could be why he's a little slow a little bit. It could be why he's a little slower. He never learned to read. He had comprehension issues. He struggled in school, but he was also great musically. He had that musical gift, and all of them have that. All of his sisters and siblings have it. But he always struggled in school. And they tried to teach him how to, he just never could get it. So it could be, because when you procreate with family like that, you're going to have some stuff going on. But it's said that his father, he never met his father. His mother never told him who his father was, because his father is said to be his grandfather. All right, let's continue. We're going to drop some gems in here tonight.
Were all of your brothers molested as well by your sister, or just you and R. Kelly?
I'm not sure about Bruce.
He won't talk about it.
He never talked about it. And then he's like maybe 2 years younger than her. So Bruce is the second oldest.
Okay, so it was different.
So it's a little different. So it's like they neck and neck when it comes to age, pretty much. Me and Robert is the babies when it came to my sister.
Now, how old were you? And you said you were 6. How old was your brother at the time?
I can't. I say he's 4 years older than me.
Oh,
so
he was 10.
He was 10, somewhere around in that area right there, because I really didn't notice right away when Robert was being held in the house.
Oh,
so I can't remember like when that took place, but it had to be probably before I turned 7. I noticed that he was in the house, and I get to go outside now.
Now, where was Bruce when all this was taking place?
Well, Bruce never stayed in the house.
He was always gone.
He was always, no, she would let him go outside as well. But see, Bruce never got in trouble. Like me and Robert, we have done something in my sister's mind to the point where that was an excuse for y'all, you on punishment.
It's interesting. A lot of parents right now, and I hate to bring this up, are fighting because they said that their daughters are trapped in a house. And so when you look at everything that your brother is being accused of and the conversations that you and I have had, they kind of mimic some of the same things that your sister did to you. And I kind of want you to explain a little bit of that to the viewers, what you're comfortable
approach me. This is before it actually happened. So she told me to come in a room with her. This is the first time that she attempted to touch me. She told me to come in a room with her. And when I came in the room, she was in a robe.
Okay.
And she opened up her robe, and she didn't have anything on up under the robe. And she told me to come over to her. Excuse me. And as a kid in my mind, I'm confused because I know this my sister. I'm 6. I know this wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And she's way older than me. And first I thought she was playing, but she would, she was insisting on me coming over to her. So I was hesitant. And so she grabbed my arm and she took my hand, started rubbing it on her private part. And I started crying, and I guess that kind of scared her. Mm-hmm. And so she told me to just go back in the living room. And that was the first time that she attempted to test the waters. The next time, I tried to find a way, like, to tell my mom in a way where where she wouldn't be looking at me like I done something wrong. If you understand what I'm saying. I told my mom, I said, I don't want, I said, do you have to go to work? I remember asking her that.
At 6 years old.
Do you have to go to school? Can you stay home today?
Wow.
A child should not have to feel or be put in a situation where they cannot talk and be 100% with their parent because something has been done to them to where they've been violated, and they're trying to find the words to say to their mother to say, hey, this is happening to me. Protect me, save me, get me out of this situation, mom, because they don't want to be put in a situation to where they are maybe spanked or reprimanded for bucking against authoritative figure. Okay. Y'all get where I'm coming from? Their sister was known as their authoritative figure because she was watching them. The mother was working multiple jobs because their father was not in the home. So she used that opportunity as to be their authoritative figure and to make them do things and to make them feel like they were punished when they did nothing. She would not allow them to go outside. She would make them stay inside to make them feel like they were punished. And during the time that they were inside, she was molesting them. Do y'all get where I'm coming from? Let's continue.
No, baby, I can't stay home. I have to do these things to provide a roof over y'all head. And I have to do these things to make sure that y'all comfortable and y'all straight. And she was like, what's wrong, baby? I miss you. And so as a kid, it was a call out for help, but in my way, it was like sending a bat signal, about a week later.
Okay, this is after the
sorry, guys, pausing because I want to do commentary in between. My thing is this, and we talk about this all the time. As parents, if you know your children, then you know if something is off. If your child is coming to you and they are trying to tell you something and they're lost with words and they're stumbling over their words and they're acting differently, most children, and I told you guys this before, most children who have been violated in some type of way, especially by someone that's very close to them, as they see as an authoritative figure, they're going to act differently. Smaller kids, they'll probably be emotional. Some of them wear their clothes. Some of them become a little bit more clingy to the other parent who's not in that way. But as a parent, you're supposed to pick up on these things and find out and or talk to your child and understand what's going on with them. But the mother was so busy with what she had going on that she didn't take the time to talk to her son and figure out what was going on. So this happened from age 6 all the way to 13. So tell me how in the hell you are in the same house with your children and you don't know that something weird is going on. He came to you crying out for help and you told him, no, I got to go to work. I don't have time for this. Your sister will be watching you. I'll be at work. So the same person that you put over him to watch him was violating him and you didn't pick up on it as a parent. I blame the mother. Okay, let's continue though.
After the first incident.
Okay.
And maybe about a week later, she told me to stay in the house. And this time she was more aggressive.
Oh.
She was more aggressive to the point where she just
take your time.
She took my face, and I'm short at the time, and she brought me into the room from the living room, and she had the robe on again, and she sit on the bed, and she just grabbed my head like this. And she just took my head and put it down by her private part. And
wow.
She told me to lick her private parts. So of course I didn't know what I was doing.
At 6 years old.
6 years old. And she was like, stick your tongue out, lick it hard, lick it fast.
She's giving you
instructions. And I just started crying, and
you were crying while this was over.
And then she went down and started she started
he is emotional. I know he ain't lying.
Thank you. She went down and she started giving me oral sex with her mouth. Even as a kid, I'm knowing this wrong, and I'm not condoning this. Human nature, yeah. So of course I'm erected
at 6.
And she laid down on her back and she grabbed me and she tried to like make me lay on her, but I was kind of like fighting to lay on her. So she turned around and laid me down, and she sat on me, and she took her hand and she grabbed my private part, and she put it in.
Wow. And this went on for how long?
It had to be about maybe 6 years.
6 years.
6 years.
And your mom never.
She never knew.
Now she's passed. She's since passed away. Did she know before her passing?
I never found the courage to tell her. I never found the strength to tell her what was happening to me. I regret that. I regret that now.
I know it's hard for you to come forward and share something personal like this, especially dealing with a family member that is still living, like you and Theresa. You still talk?
I haven't talked to Theresa since I haven't seen her since my mom died in '93.
Oh wow. Okay.
The last time I spoke with my sister, my son had got shot. I was on the news at Christ Hospital. Because at the time I thought that the police was bogus, and so I involved the media.
Okay.
So when I did that, my sister saw it on the news that her nephew had got shot. My son had me believing that they tried to rob him because he was R. Kelly nephew.
Oh.
So as a father, I'm not trying to hear nothing from the police. So I'm not trying to battle them. So I went to the news to expose them. But the whole truth of the matter is that ain't how it went down. So when it was news coverage on that, she saw it on the news. She actually called the hospital.
Oh.
And that was the first time that I heard her voice in 20 years, almost 20 years.
How did it make you feel?
Eerie, like in a kid, man, state. I'm here powerless. Like, she called and the nurse said, are you Carrie? I said, yes. She say, someone is on the phone for you. There was a lot of people calling the hospital because they seen the coverage on the news. And so I asked the nurse who it was and said, your sister. She said, she's your sister.
Oh.
And so it was like the Green Mile, walking to the phone, to go to the phone, to pick the phone up and actually speak to her. And when I did finally speak with her, she asked me, was Braille okay? She seen it on the news, and she's praying for him and things of that nature. And she told me that I couldn't help but tell her, Theresa, I just want to tell you, I appreciate you calling, checking on my son, but I just want to let you know that I forgive you.
Oh. Take your time.
I forgive you for what you done to me. And the biggest blowback with that is we all human beings and nobody's perfect.
How did she react when you told her you forgive
She
her?
said, I don't know what you're talking about.
She denied it.
She denied it. She said, I don't know what you're talking about. She said, I forgive you for molesting me as a kid. I remember everything. And I just want you to know that I forgive you because you're my sister. She told me do not call her. Do not contact her. And it's been that way for years since my son was shot and she called that hospital. I feel like she molested me again.
In that moment.
In that moment, I felt like,
thanks for being here, guys.
It was more mental than physical this time. Because it's almost like my mama's favorite saying was, don't piss in my face and tell me it's rain. If it's piss, I can adjust and adapt to that. The fact that you told me, hey, I did this and I didn't mean to do it. But the fact that she acted like I was having nightmares to get these memories and it never happened. It was all in a dream is what it set me back. Because
especially with all the recent allegations and the allegations of him impregnating a cousin of yours, of you all. I know he probably views incest very different, but from what we spoke about on the phone, and I know you don't know much, but you do believe that Theresa touched him as well.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do, because like I say, I can't say I wasn't there the same time that Robert was there, like in the house where I can actually see. I know what was happening to me. And I know that when I got to go outside, I was so glad. And he couldn't.
We heard a source that's been who's been in contact with him that he's willing to release the girls and go to therapy if he is not charged. That's the deal that he made in preparations of trying to go to Africa and live in Africa. And what do you think about all that? Just hearing.
Well, I mean,
me say that.
My thing is this: if the authorities make a deal like that with him, they crazier than a fish with titties in a thong in a strip club.
I'm sorry, y'all.
Do you believe your brother needs to go to jail?
I believe that something needs to.
Okay, so let's get. We're not gonna watch the entire.
That's crazy, y'all. Like,
what do you guys think about that?
Just watching it again, like, because I keep.
Okay, so what do y'all think about that? You guys have to catch the entire video, okay? Yeah, you guys probably should catch the entire video. Let me see something real quick. He was very, he was very, hold on. He was very transparent, I'll tell you that. Like, he was very transparent. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see if I can find the one I was telling y'all about. What y'all think about this interview? What do y'all think about this interview? Trying to see. Let me see what this one is saying. Hold on. Okay, yeah. So we saw that one. I wonder why I didn't talk about where the sister actually used a number 2 pencil. What made R. Kelly use a number 2 pencil on him? Okay. I mean, on her. She made R. Kelly use a number 2 pencil in her vajayjay to like penetrate her with the pencil. You guys, yeah, shit, crazy. All right, so I'm gonna play this. This is their sister. Let's go ahead. And their sister Theresa actually talking, where she don't believe none of this stuff. All right, so I'm gonna share this right quick, and then we're gonna get out of here. This is not gonna be a long video. I just wanted to share this because R. Kelly's daughter came out to talk about. I kind of figured that she was gonna say that she was sexually assaulted by him. I figured that because I just know the history of him and what he did. Okay, what do you guys think about this though? For anybody in the chat that's been through that, my apologies to you guys. I'm so sorry that you guys went through that. Talking about it definitely helps. Therapy definitely helps. The more you talk about it, it's comfortable. The more comfortable you become talking about it, and you never know which who your story can help when you talk about it. Okay, because somebody else may have gone through that, so you sharing your story could help someone else feel comfortable enough to share their story and get some deliverance and or a breath of fresh air to where they can exhale from holding on to that, because that's a lot to have to hold on to. That's a lot to have to hold on to. So the more you share it, the more you become comfortable. And who knows, you could be the spokesperson for women who've been sexually assaulted, whether it was by a family member or by someone else, a total stranger. You just never know. Talking about things a lot of times will help alleviate the pain and the weight of everything that you're carrying, because that can be heavy sometimes. It can be very heavy. And when a parent sometimes don't believe you when you go through those things, that's hard, because you want to be able to come to your parent for anything, to say, hey, this happened to me. Let's do something about it. Let's prosecute this person or whatever. You want that parent's insight on how they're going to help you get out of that space. But when the parent don't believe you, or they blame you and they take the side of the person who was the abuser, that's hard. So how do you deal with that? How do you get over that? You know? What's the person? More show. Thank you so much for being here and being transparent in the chat. Okay, and everybody else that's doing so as well. Let's get into R. Kelly's sister, where she is speaking on R. Kelly's sentencing. Okay, she's a bitch. She's a bitch. I'm sorry.
As the disgraced US singer R. Kelly prepares to go on trial next month for possession of child sex images, his family have said he is not a monster. In an exclusive interview with Good Morning Britain, the sex trafficker's sisters claimed that racism played a part in his sentencing for sexual abuse. After 2 decades of allegations, R. Kelly was sentenced to 30 years in prison. Our North America correspondent Noel Phillips is live in New York. Noel, good morning to you. Despite the huge amounts of evidence, R. Kelly's family, they're just not accepting his conviction. Explain that to us.
That's right, and their comments have been described as outrageous, with one victim of R. Kelly going as far as saying his sisters are an embarrassment for making such comments, and especially for victims of sexual abuse. And we can reveal for the first time this morning that the convicted sex offender has been writing and sending letters from his prison cell claiming that his 30-year sentence was because of the color of his skin. And I can tell you, having recently covered his trial here in New York, that was not the case. The evidence against him was compelling. And after all, most of his victims were women of color. And a US prosecutor also involved in that case has told me this was never about race. This was simply the system doing its job in locking up a serial sexual predator.
African Americans have always been treated unfairly. And so I think that has a lot to do with it, as well as other factors.
There are over 70% of the people of the men of color have been found guilty, and then they weren't. That don't mean they're guilty.
That's her.
Just because that he has been found guilty, that doesn't mean he's guilty.
Do you accept that he's done anything wrong at all?
If he's done anything wrong, none of us are perfect. But as far as the extent of what they're saying, holding someone hostage, and these females were treated like queens, that I don't believe. That doesn't add up.
It doesn't add up.
Robert does not have to hold anyone hostage. Women come at him because of his status of who he is. You know, you have thousands of women that come at him. Why does he have to hold a few hostage anywhere?
Can you really sit here and say that your brother has not been with underage girls?
Okay, I can say he may have been with younger women, but as far as underage girls, you know, and I stress girls, underage girls, who has seen that?
Well, it was proven in court that he married the singer Aaliyah when she was 15 years old.
I don't know that he married Aaliyah. I don't know that.
Yeah, we won't discuss that.
I'm not going to discuss that.
What about the countless victims who came forward and said,
"You don't need to discuss it. There's documentation, there's court documentation proving that he did that, and the only reason he married Aaliyah is because he impregnated her, and he felt that he could avoid charges by her being his wife and she not being able to testify against him, which is why he married Aaliyah. So you ain't got to testify and or talk about it. That's on legal documentation that he married Aaliyah because he was sleeping with her as a young girl starting at age 14 years old, and he wound up impregnating her. And Aaliyah also went through said abuse just like some of the other girls. That is why she had she promised R. Kelly that she would never speak on it. Even when she got with Dame Dash, he tried to get it out of her and she refused to speak on it because she did not want to relive all of the craziness that she went through with R. Kelly. He has a lot of demons in him. And some of those girls also went through some sex rituals as well. I keep telling y'all, this Hollywood shit is so sadistic and crazy. Diddy was doing it and so many others. It just haven't come out yet. But R. Kelly went through some very crazy stuff as a child to where his mind, I feel like, snapped. Go and please read the book Solar Coaster. It will open your eyes to so much that he went through. R. Kelly saw some things as a child that he should not have been privy to at a very young age. How he learned how to record people was because he was made to do it when he was a child. He was recording his sister, and he was also recording, it was believed to be his mother, when she would have men come over and would have sexual encounters. He was made to record it as a child. So that's where he got recording random girls and recording sex acts. That's where he got that from. Where did he get locking people up? Because he was locked up. Instead of being able to be a child and go outside and ride his bike and play and have friends, he was made to stay in the house and be on fake punishment so that he could be violated by the one person that he trusted to be his protector, which was his sister. And now she's sitting in a fucking interview and she's capping for him. Why? Because financially he takes care of her. He bought her a house. He pays her bills in addition to her making her own money being a hairstylist. He still takes care of her while he's locked up. So that is why she caps for him. She was at his trial sitting right there in support of him, knowing that all these things that they're saying that he did, he absolutely did every one of those things, because they come from the same bitch who was sitting right there supporting him that did it to him. Let's continue.
R. Kelly abused me when I was underage. R. Kelly physically abused me. R. Kelly held me against my will and did repulsive things to me.
I believe so. A lot of the alleged victims are bitter.
You weren't there in that house.
Yeah, but
when
what
all these
about the
alleged
ones that were there?
crimes were being committed.
What about the ones that were there? Well, why weren't the witnesses called? The people that said, okay, whenever they were asked to write statements, why weren't they ever called back? What about the people that actually said, no, I've never seen that?
A lot of people may say you're delusional.
Well, that's them. That a lot of people that's saying I'm delusional, they haven't been where we are. They haven't spoken to him.
But can you acknowledge the victims?
I'm not going to acknowledge something that I don't have the proof of. If there's a victim, I will acknowledge. But from what I've seen in court and from what I've studied and from what I've read, the only victim I've seen that's been stolen from, lied on, is Robert. No one's talking about the money that was being extorted from Robert. No one's talking about what was stolen from him. No one's talking about the businesses that were in his name. No one's talking about the bank accounts that were in his name. No one's talking about any of the millions of dollars that was ciphered from him. No one's talking about that because he's supposed to be the monster, and he's not a monster. He's not a pedophile. He was just taken advantage of.
The judge in the New York trial said in court that that case was essentially not about sex. It was about violence, cruelty, and control. And she painted a picture of your brother as someone who was a sex predator. And in so many ways, these other trials coming up will have a similar narrative.
We just want to make sure that we support him and give him the strength he needs, the prayers he needs. I'm not so concerned about, okay, I'm going to be.
So you violate him, fuck him up mentally, psychologically, and every other lead. Then you sit up here and say you're going to pray for him, all because you feel like you found God. Well, if you found God, the first thing he's going to tell you to do is apologize. Now, if we want to be biblical about it, it does say do not let the sun go down on your wrath. If you owe someone an apology, you do that first. Lay your gift down at the altar. I'm Church of God in Christ. I can quote it just like it was child, like I got the Bible right here in front of me. If you owe your brother an apology, literally your brother reached out to you when you called to check on your nephew when he was pow-powed in the hospital. You had a chance to make it right, and you told him, don't ever call me again because you did not want to take accountability for what you did to this person. But what you did do was you grabbed your shit and moved away out of town to get away from the truth. You ran from the truth, and now you're sitting in interviews and you are defending someone who should have gotten help for what you did to them. He is spending 20 years in prison for what you did to him at age 6 years old because it was done to you. And it's a cycle of abuse. But by the time you realize what you were doing, ma'am, you didn't stop doing it. You continued for 6 years with one brother and longer than that with the other. But you sit your ass up here with these crazy ass damn Chucky eyebrows you got on here. I don't know. You supposed to be a stylist? Girl, who did your eyebrows? Who did your fucking eyebrows? Let's start there. Where you get this damn Party City wig from? And them damn contacts, because that's not your eyes. She changed her entire appearance because she don't want to look like the bitch that all these pictures are going around with her. Because pictures been online about her, about what she did to her brother. So what she did was try to change her appearance because she don't want people stopping her in the streets and, are you Theresa Kelly? The girl that did what she did to her brothers? She moved away and changed her appearance to avoid taking accountability for what she's done. And you sitting in interviews and you taking up for this boy when you know he's a pedo. His own damn daughter now. You're going to do another interview and say that your niece, R. Kelly's daughter, is lying about what he did to her because the same shit was done to him by you. What the fuck is wrong with her, y'all? Let's continue. I'm sorry. This kind of get me mad a little bit.
Stressed out about this. I'm going to be stressed out about that. I don't operate that way. So in operating in faith, I just believe that God is going to allow what needs to happen.
Which means why are you concerned about his safety at the prison that he's in Chicago?
The main reason I'm concerned about Chicago is because I don't understand how another inmate was even allowed near a high profile person like Robert. I don't understand. How were you able to get in his cell and start beating him in his head? How are you able to do that?
During the conversations you've had with him,
That's prison.
has he ever cried or expressed regret or shown?
Maybe she don't understand how prison works. If you go to prison, those prisoners have a way to find out why you're in there. If you are a woman beater and a pedo, your ass is grass when you go in there. R. Kelly is a high-profile celebrity. This has been all over the news. So when people see him coming there, just like with Diddy, oh, his day is coming. You don't think between now and when his trial start on May the 5th that somebody he gonna get hands on him? Y'all don't think that? You got people in jail that's waiting for the opportunity to be able to put their hands on Diddy, to have bragging rights to say that they stomped this nigga out for what he's done to women. Oh, yeah. Believe that. Listen to him.
And any emotions at all?
He'll be like, forgive them, forgive them, forgive
That's what
them.
he says.
Forgive them.
And I said, forgive them after all the lies, after all the things that have been said about you. All these
After
lawsuits, everything is about money, and the only thing that you can say is forgive them.
Forgive them.
How can you sit here and say R. Kelly was the victim? A lot of people.
I just told you, I don't care about what a lot of people. I can only go by what I see, what I know, what I've experienced. That's how I can sit here and say that.
I do understand where they come through, because I was in an abusive relationship, so I truly understand where they're coming from, and I'm not knocking any alleged victims down at all. And I hope that everybody that's involved is restored and healed, period. But the robber that I have met and come to know is totally opposite person.
Until it's done to you, sis, you really can't sit up here and say what did or did not happen. These women lived that abuse. These women went through being abused. It makes me so mad when people sit up and say something did not happen to a person. Were you there? You were not there when these girls were held in rooms made to pee and shit in buckets when they were suffering Stockholm syndrome. Some of them are still warped. Some of them are still warped. The girl that was in the video, that was the 14-year-old that was violated, Andrea Kelly, we done talked about you, baby. I don't know why you speaking up in interviews and documentaries with your kids when you waited till the time ran out for you to go up in there and report what happened with your children. When this same 14-year-old was in your house and you supposed to have been watching her and babysitting her when you allowed her to be downstairs with your husband while he was videotaping her. That videotape was videoed in Andrea Kelly's house downstairs with your husband while you telling people that the girl that was 14 years old was your goddaughter and you was promising to watch her while her father went to the studio, honey, to play guitar for your husband. So how is it that you don't find, and I mean, yeah, she was there with her kids because the little girl was there and played with Andrea and R. Kelly's kids as well. But how is it you don't know where she is for hours while she's downstairs being violated? How is that? How is that? Her first car was a PT Cruiser that R. Kelly bought for her. She used to be at the studio and be hugged up with R. Kelly. And my thing is this, you start to see signs of inappropriate behavior. Even Sparkle said when she came to the studio and she said, what you doing here? She knew what was going on with R. Kelly. And she was watching her niece being at the studio every single day with her legs and stuff up on his leg and arm around him. Like it looked like they were boyfriend and girlfriend. And she was a mere teenager. Andrea Kelly, you didn't report any of that, just like you failed to go and report when your children came and told you what their father was doing to them. But you stayed there because you had a Rolls Royce parked outside and you had some chinchilla jackets in the closet and you were staying in a mansion and you had unlimited money. And that's why you didn't do shit, because you didn't want those things taken away. You don't want your lifestyle to change. So you and your children suffered in silence, and now they are grown adults and they are on documentaries and in interviews crying because their fucking mother did not protect them because she was protecting the bag. You got parents that's that way. When they're in a situation where they're comfortable, they're not going to interrupt that because their child came to them and said, hey, this happened to me. They're going to deal with it. Case in point, what's the Tyler Perry movie where the daughter, y'all know what I'm talking about, Lynn Whitfield played the mother. And she talked about how she would put makeup on her daughter and send her daughter in the room with this man who had all this money and was taking very good care of them. Y'all remember? and she made her daughter do inappropriate things with her husband because they had a plush lifestyle, and she didn't want to lose that lifestyle. So she would put makeup on her daughter and dress her up to be like a grown-ass woman when she was a child, to take her in there to allow her husband to do whatever he will, and fucked up her daughter and got mad at her daughter because she spoke out and decided not to fuck with her no more. Medea's family reunion. Go look at it. That's a real thing. That's a real thing. Those things really happen. It's a movie, but those things really happen. What's it? Family Reunion, The Diary. It's one of those Tyler Perry movies. When I saw that shit, I said, what the fuck? You could tell the strain in the mother-daughter relationship because she did not protect her. This girl had one job. R. Kelly's sister had one job, babysit them. Okay. 6 years old, you go in there, fix them something to eat, make them breakfast and all that. The mama worked 2 jobs, so I'm pretty sure you're making dinner as well. Make sure they, come in, do their homework, all the things that a parent has to do when the parent is absent and you're watching them. But because she was violated, that SCX spirit was in her, and she invoked it into her siblings. And it passed down. And then it did not stop with R. Kelly and his brothers. It also went to her children, because her daughter became the same way. Her daughter wanted to sleep with Carrie Kelly, her uncle. Her uncle. And he had to put her out of his house because she was becoming this overly sexual being in his house. And when he had his own girlfriend come over, she would act out because she wanted her to leave, because she wanted to walk around in her panties in front of her uncle. How sick is that? That's some sick shit. You're doing yourself a disservice if you guys did not watch the interview with Carrie Kelly with Tasha K in its entirety. I think it's 3 parts. When you guys get the chance, I did not want to play the entire thing here because we'd be here all damn night. When you get a chance, go over there and watch it. It's worth a watch, so that you can get an insight on all the things that went on with R. Kelly, and you can see why he is the way that he is, why he did the things that he did to other people, because it was done to him. When you get a chance to read Solar Coaster, which is his book, it will explain and break down to you all the things that happened with him. R. Kelly saw his first girlfriend, which was a little girl who passed away in a creek where she was playing. They were playing, and another little boy pushed her, and she got washed up a creek, and he just stood there and watched her drown. It's in the book. It's in the book. It's in the book. There's a scene in there as well, not a scene, but a part in the book as well, where R. Kelly was pow-powed in the book. And many people believe that he did that because of what he was going through as a child. People believe that he pow-powed himself because he no longer wanted to be on this earth anymore because of all the hell that he was going through. He wanted out of that situation because it was a point where he could not sleep, and his mind was just, as a kid, imagine how that is as a kid, day after day after day, you being sexually violated by the person who is also disciplining you. So that's got to be hard. You got to do what this person is saying, and if you don't do what they're saying, you're going to be disciplined. And the things that they're asking you to do is beyond wrong, and you know that. Like he said, at 6 years old, I knew what she was asking me to do when she came in there with that robe on, with her robe open and nothing underneath. He knew at 6 years old that it was wrong. And not doing that would have probably landed him, because y'all know a black household, honey, you get what they call a whooping. I'm pretty sure she had a belt on deck, had those children not done what she asked them to do and how she asked them to do it. And the fact that they could not come to their mother because they were afraid of probably being reprimanded, that speaks volumes to the type of household that they grew up in. Their mother was disconnected as a mother to her children because she too was violated. I told y'all R. Kelly's father is his grandfather, which would make the mother, that would be her father, right? Oh my God. We can go on and on. I could talk about this shit until the sun come up, all right? But go back and read, go read the book Solar Coaster. Go back and look at the Tasha K interview with Carrie Kelly. He's very much so transparent in that somebody say, I don't know, it's too much. If you can handle it, because it may be a lot of triggering, trigger warning for most people. If you can handle it, I can watch stuff like this because this is like right in my alley. I know I like documentaries, I like interviews, I like stuff like this. It don't bother me because I can go pray and get this up off me, and I'm good. I'm about to go downstairs and I'm gonna send me a prayer, get this up out my system. I'm gonna watch me some TV and enjoy the rest of my weekend. Okay. But yeah, and you guys do the same. I didn't want to trigger you guys, but I felt like this was a great topic, being that his daughter came out and did this documentary, and she spoke out about what her father did. And I knew whenever they did the clip, the promo clip, I already said it in my mind. I said he slept with that girl. He violated that girl, just because I know the track record of R. Kelly. But prayers to her for her mental, her physical, her spiritual, everything about it, because the shit just does not go away overnight. So said that Bobby Bolton said that you need to email Caramel with that information. Who's Bobby Bolton? I'm sorry. Who's Bobby Bolton? Do we have a Bobby Bolton in the chat? Let me see. Says that I have transcripts from the trial and nobody in the stand said that they had to use the bathroom and buckets. Yeah, I just said that. In the studio. In the studio, they had to pee and crap in buckets. Says that they even gave him $5,000 allowance. So yeah, you can send that to me if you want to. Caramel, let me put it in chat. If you want to send it to my email address, you can. All right. I pretty much know most of everything going on with this damn R. Kelly case. Caramel75 at gmail.com. Okay. Or you can DM it to me on Instagram, Caramel. Okay. And that goes for anyone else. If you guys have something that you guys want me to take a look at and or talk about and do commentary on, you can send it to me at that address, or you can DM it to me if you are a friend of mine on Instagram. Okay. So Caramel, yeah, that's it. Oh no, that's not it. I'm so damn tired. I'm sorry. Caramel Rail at 75. Hold on, 75 at Gmail. Damn. All right, so that is the actual email address. All right, let me take this one out. Let's take this one out. So I don't want nobody sending nothing to that one. Should I delete comment? Okay. All right, boom. All right, so this is the one, caramel75gmail.com. Okay, boom. That's me. That's me. So if you need to send me something, you can send it there or just DM it to me. Okay, and I will get it and I will look at it and do all the stuff that I need to do to get the info for it, and we'll talk about it. Okay. Thank you guys for being here. Bill Wilson, KBR, Tyra, Linda Gamble, Scorpion Miss. Thank you guys for modding. All right. And let's see my content creators that are here. True TV Podcast, Purple Unicorn, Aries Girl Podcast, Dear Reed Talk Show, Missy Hills Atlanta, Boss Lady Brand, Girlfriend Chronicles, Chronicles of Kim K. If you're here, thanks for being here. Love seeing her. Thank you all for being here. And of course, all of my Caramelians, thank you guys for stopping by tonight for our pop-in video. You guys have a blessed, safe weekend. Y'all know this is a 3-day weekend. Praise the Lord, okay? So y'all enjoy your weekend. I will see you guys tomorrow. I'll be checking in with a video because I know some crazy stuff gonna happen between now and then, okay? So hopefully if you like the video, you hit the like button. If you didn't, hit the dislike button, okay? And also, subscribe to this channel if you've not done so, and feel free to share the video, okay? Love you guys down. Let's get y'all some music, honey, so y'all can twerk on up out of here. All right. Bye.